Recording is on.
Perfect. Okay. So another thing with all of this is that I'm probably going to pick up stuff on you because that's what I'm already doing. And are you okay if more than one person comes through?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, cool. Let me take my gum out. Hold on. Oh. Okay. So is there also it may not be specifically for you, it may be for somebody else too, like that would be around you normally too. I think it's for you though. Is there a younger male that also passed? Like teenager, like 20s? So I don't get ages. It's not like they hold up signs and say, I'm 21. It's like, that's what they look like to me. Hang on. Do you have a boyfriend right now?
I do.
Okay. Does he have somebody around him that committed suicide? Or did?
No.
I don't know who the male is. Okay. It's like either we got killed or we accidentally killed ourselves. It's like one or the other. I don't know who the male is. So hold that off. Think about it. Like I said, it's not in the immediate area, but they like hang around and they're stronger than other people. Like just the feeling is stronger. Said I'm a friend. I'm a friend. Could be a friend. Look into that later. Hang on. Okay. So open mind. Hold on. Okay, what are we talking about with that? He took care of me. Raised me and took care of me. Raised me and took care of me. Interesting. Hold on. So obviously, so what I am going with him, so there's a lot of stuff going on in my head. So I'm asking questions. I was kind of ripped away from her, you know? Hang on. There's a lot of feelings that go along with this. So one of the first things is saying, first off, we're very distraught by what happened. But then there's also is there remorseful feelings involving with your choices surrounding this?
There a little bit.
Okay. Sorry, it's the feelings. It's very, when I put all this together, I have to put it into English. And so if I sit there and I'm like, that's what I'm doing. Hang on. Okay. So you're, was like my kid. Took care of you for a little bit. Why do they keep saying I was ripped away? Hold on. You're like my kid. Okay. Okay, so you're around them all the time, a lot younger. And then gradually that went away. And then they slowly had a decline. Okay. Okay. So then how did all this play out? Did you live with this person for a while when you were a lot younger?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. He was like, oh, she was like my kid. I'm like, oh, okay. Hang on. And then you moved and left. Where'd you leave to? You travel away.
I moved away with my mom to Arkansas.
Okay. Okay, cool. That's the ripped away. Okay, because it's like we're here all the time, and then it's like we're gone, and like we moved and okay. I was really struggling at the time. Why would he have been struggling at the time?
He had health issues.
Ah, okay. He said I was really struggling at the time. I'm like, okay, hang on. He's very proud about it. It's almost like we don't want to look like we're weak, but we know we are. Like that's kind of the feeling that goes behind it. Like, oh, I'm fine, but he kind of like hides it in the shadows. That's kind of what it looks like. I wish you could be in my head with me. It'd be a lot easier. Oh, is this dad? Okay. Because he said, I may not have been a perfect father. He goes, but I gave it a good shot. I don't know what that means. Okay. It's okay. Okay. And that's where she was like, my kid, man. I was like, oh, okay. Hang on. Very straightforward. So a lot of times, some of the things they say, they're very frank. I don't want you to ever think that everything's just like, oh my God, I loved her and it's so squishy. Like they get pretty into it. So I'm going to be just as frank as they are. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Hang on. But he had health issues because of himself. Hang on. Correct. Because he's like, I did it to me. He was like, oh, there were some contributing factors. And I'm like, okay, but let's get into that. So this is called heating up the energy. So it's like you get little things, and then gradually they realize that you're not a jerk. And so they start to talk to you more. Hang on. It shows you sitting there crying, and it's like if I had my dad with me, things would have been a lot different. What is that?
I don't really know.
But it's like, hang on. Because there's an innate separation and it had to happen. And so I don't know what that is. Hang on. This is my other thing. When I say stuff, I don't want you to fit information where it shouldn't fit. So I'll literally tell you, I'll be like, nope, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to try to get something else. Okay, you're living with a boyfriend now?
No, I live with my sister.
Where's the boyfriend coming to play? Are y'all thinking about living together? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he says she's going to live with the boyfriend now. And I'm like, I hope it's more one day. Okay. So you're good with that, but what is the There's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts with that as well. Hang on. Is it bad to say, and this is the frank part, this is coming from him, that if you guys live together, that you may get unstable? Are you okay with that? Like, that feels like a thing. Hang on.
Yeah.
Or like there's a lot of hesitations going on behind it, because he's talking about with him, like, it's good, I really, really want this, but it's going to be like looking over my shoulder thing. And I don't know what that pertains to, but we can get into that as well later too. Hang on. So he was really sick for a long time. Okay. His mom had to help. Did his mom have to help him out?
No.
Who's the woman that's around him?
It was
Feels
his
like-
wife, his second wife.
Okay. He's talking about following him around and helping him out. And I'm like, who's this woman here? Hang on. Was he mean too? Because he feels very nice to you, but he says he was a mean son of a bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what he's saying.
He was
Okay,
mean to others.
Okay, cool. I was like, he was like, I liked you. He was like, but I was a mean son of a bitch. I was like, oh, okay, hang on. He said he was quick to pop off. I'm like, okay. He said, what would you feel like if you didn't feel good all the time? I said, okay, cool. So he's talking about you. I don't know if this is a picture. I see it next to it though. But then there's the elongation. So were you able to see him when he got really, really ill?
Only a few times.
Okay. Because I'm like, you're not there when he passes. This isn't a thing, but he's showing him being really sick and like you being able to see him. Like this is a thing. Hang on. But like he looks like death at this moment. Hang on.
Yeah.
Was he on oxygen too?
I think he was the last few months.
Okay, cool. That's why I was like earlier is like this, because he's showing me like going around and like it's here. And he's like, do you see this stupid thing? I'm like, okay, hang on. He really didn't take care of himself, did he? No, he did not. No, he did not. Okay. Because I'm asking, I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he was like, my legs are really swollen and like I can't breathe and like I'm shortness of breath. And he's like, and I hurt. And he's like walking around kind of hunched over like a bear. Like whenever he's like that, it's like we're almost like dragging ourselves in a way. Hang on. He said, and then there was a point when I couldn't get up. And I'm like, okay, hang on. Did they end up putting him on hospice care?
I don't know.
Okay. He's talking about home care, which is hospice care usually for me. Hang on. Said they just left him for dead. Why is he so angry about how he passed? Hang on. So he's talking about a son. Hang on. Okay. It says the son is there. Who is the son? There's a younger male involved somewhere, but I'm trying to figure out where that's at. Okay. Was he supposed to have a son?
I have an older brother.
You do? Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. He shows me him being younger than him like a child, but then I'm like, where's he at in all of this? Is he like out of the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Say it again?
I didn't meet him until later.
Okay, cool. Okay, that would make sense. Okay, because I'm like connecting him with you on during around this age, and I'm like, where is he at? Hang on. It's like you just but you worry as much as you could. It's like you hold like remorse or guilt and stuff about like not being, it's not even not being there as much. It's just like not being supportive, but like you couldn't be that supportive, but like you didn't have. That's a very convoluted relationship, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah. He shows him like blowing up. Did he get really heavy?
Yeah.
Okay. He was like, I'm asking about his picture, and he was like, whoa. And I'm like, okay. Ah. Okay, so your mom and you moved back to Arkansas to be with her family, correct?
With my stepdad, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. Because I'm like, why did they move there? And he's like, oh, to go and be with family, be with the rest of the family. And I'm like, okay. Arkansas is beautiful, by the way. It's gorgeous. I went there for the first time a month ago, and I was like, oh, why don't we all live here? Hang on. Have you ever had a dream about him where you see him, but he doesn't speak to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's talking about I hold my tongue. And I'm like, well, why? And he's like, it's just like I'm almost like standing there. It's this very weird, eerie type of feeling. Like not, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah. And so I'm asking him like, why is that? Why is that? Okay, so the other people have him still. They have him. Okay, so you haven't even gone to see like anything. For like,
I haven't been able to.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. He's like, they have me. They have me. I'm like, okay, hang on. Okay. I don't know why there's so many males everywhere. Do you want to have a son one day? Because it feels like that's going to happen.
I do. I want to have kids.
Yeah, it's like mainly a boy. That's FYI. That's a big thing. But it doesn't, we'll get, hold on. It's like at that point, because he's talking about it, he was like, oh, I'm going to watch this when this happens. So he like shows me like a clip, and it's definitely like a child, but the child is very, very rowdy and like very, very boyish. So I don't know what's going on with like motocross or like outside things or like that type of ATV stuff and all that, but it doesn't feel like it starts off with a good relationship and then it ends in like you being a single mom for a little bit, for a while. So just, it's like, oh, she can handle it. I'm like, no, I know she can, but just keep that in the back of your head. Hang on. Okay. So I'm asking him now, I'm like, well, how did you die? What happened with everything? He said, shit, everything just started failing me. He's like, name the first thing. Said it took him a long time to go. They ended up having to take him off. Did they have to take him off?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He said, they ended up having to take me off. I was like, oh, okay. Did he curse a lot?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's like bleep bleeps and bleeps all the time. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I can totally say it for you. I just don't know if you're going to show this to a lot of people. So I don't want to be busting out, MFers and stuff like that throughout. He said, I did love your mother. He was like, but we were too young at the time. But I feel like he's older though at that point, like a lot older. Is he a lot older than her?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He looks at like a father figure almost, but like not. Do you ever have the question of if he wanted you?
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. Because he brings it up. I'm asking, I'm like, oh, I didn't honestly, I didn't have to ask a question on that. He was like, she thinks about like, did I even want you? Like, that's how separate the relationship was. And then it's like, He said, of course I did. I just didn't know how to handle it at my age. And I don't know what that means. Was he like 15 years older than her?
About.
Okay. Give or take. They don't give me like numbers. It's just I feel time or ages. So that's like, why was that whole side of the family? Why were all y'all so closed off during all of his death? Like, what's going on with that? It's like there's no like openings or like for closure or anything.
My stepmom. She cut from him.
Okay. Because I'm like, did she see him? Like, was there conversation? Was there anything? And he's like, he has this woman like looming over him, and like that's it. I'm like, okay. She took everything and she sold it?
Yeah.
Okay. He said, she took he goes, she even took everything and the bitch sold it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Would she scream at him?
Yeah.
Okay, because he goes, I can even account that was probably part of my demise. And like he shows me like somebody yelling. I'm like, okay. Lazy ass up. She thought he was lazy too. She thought he was very lazy. That's another thing. And he wasn't. He just didn't feel great. Hang on. Did he have really bad? Okay. His kidneys started shutting down. Did he have diabetes as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he's talking about this led to this, led to this, and he's talking about the liver thing too. And it just all went to shit. Did he? He had polyps. He's talking about polyps. I don't know what polyps are. Maybe those are small tumors. I don't think he actually had cancer though. Did he have? No, because he's showing me polyps. No, he didn't. Everything just started shutting down.
Yeah.
Polyps in his lungs. He said he had bags in his lungs. Maybe that's fluid. He took me off dialysis and that was it. They took him off dialysis. Okay, interesting. Okay. He said they took me off dialysis and that was it. Okay. It's so interesting when I do this because they use pictures and images that I've had and experienced. And so he just showed me when they took my dad off of dialysis and how he passed. And so he flashes that in me. And I was like, oh, okay. Hang on. Are you doing okay? Are you doing the right thing? What is that?
I think it has to do with my relationship with my boyfriend.
So that's where the initial, when he starts talking about that. Oh, okay. Okay. He said, if you get out there, he added a curse word in there too, but I'm not going to say it. Pretty much, he said, if you get too far in cahoots with this fellow kiddo, it's going to be hard to get yourself out. And I know that's not how he talked. It doesn't feel like it is, but he's very like, it's so funny. He's like loving, cheery dad with you, but with a lot of like F-bombs inside of it. And you've already had the infidelity part on the part with the boyfriend, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's mentioning that. He does the X, which is like, that's a no-go. That's a no-go. He's like, it's weighing on your mood. It's weighing on your depression. Just look at how light you would be if you didn't have that. And that's specifically. But how do I let something go that I've kept around for so long? How long have y'all been dating?
We've been dating for almost a year.
Oh, that's why. Okay. He's not that nice to you. Why are you with him?
Well, he is, but a lot of people say he's selfish.
Yeah, they show me like an iron heart, which means like it's for me, like I shelter my own, not for other people. But see, you're the type of person, this is just feelings here. You're the person that you look at it and you see the facts and you know and you research them all and you're in it and you see it. But you want to make sure that everybody else is okay besides you.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that everybody else feels good besides you. And like you're second, and that's okay. And another thing is that and it's almost like you get really, really nosy and you get really into it and you look at it. Again, it comes down to like seeing the clues and doing all this, but then it's like, we can't hurt them. It's like this thing that goes on. Hang on. But it causes you a lot of stress. Hang on. With him, was his ex-wife a smoker?
I don't know.
Okay. Because he says she even threw away the ashtrays. And I'm like, I don't know where all this is. Like, that's just another comment of like throwing everything away. Hang on. You had like, I mean, were you 8 or 9 when he left or when you left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did they have a house and a dog?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm asking, I'm like, well, what happened up to that? He was like, it's like from the outside, it looked like a pretty good life. He was like, it was us. He was like, we even had a house and a dog. And I'm like, oh. So he was the one that fucked up the relationship for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Because he was like, I was the fuck up. He was like, I was the one that did this. It's like, okay. Does she know that he thinks that she was the best thing that came into his life and how he made a mistake?
I don't think he's ever said that to her, but he said it to me.
Yeah, because he goes, she was the best thing that came into my life, and I fucked it up. Like that. Very straightforward. Don't tell her I said that. That's what he said. It's like a sarcastic joke behind the scenes. Hang on. Are you really short?
I'm 5'7".
Okay. Sorry, I'm 6'1". So I'm like looking at you and you're like here on me. And so I'm like, oh, okay. He says you should have been taller. Was he like 6'2"?
He was 6'6".
That's why he goes, you should have been taller. That's why I'm like, were you really short? Like, how is this? Okay, cool. Because there was a joke from that. And he was like, she should have been taller. And I'm like, how tall? Like, because no wonder. Okay. Got that from her mother's side. Okay. Your mom's a teasing type person. Like, what do you, I mean, she's short, but like, it's okay. Hang on. I'm asking him, I'm like, well, when is she going to go up there and like see you? When is she going to go see everything? And he's like, oh, she has nothing else here to see. Like, yeah, he is in closing. I could read you for an hour. I'm sorry. I let time get away from me and I can do this constantly. With all of this, he is remorseful. He's not in I would say he's in heaven. I would say, or figuratively speaking of it. So it's like it's like a better version, like a higher vibration, a good place. We'll call it a good place. He is frustrated. He does take a lot on like what he did and the relationship and the damage behind it. Step very lightly with the boyfriend. Think about it, because there's warning signs. Go back and watch this over again, because I won't remember this session. Go back and watch it over again, but be careful. And that may be the part of the kid. If you continue this way, that could be one of the things. So, which is why I think you said earlier, it was like, you may not be able to get out of these or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but watch out with that. Another thing I need you to do right now is, in closing, I need you to take like 10 minutes or 5 minutes and just have like a decent cry or like a decent let go. Okay. Tonight, I think with the not talking, I don't think he's strong enough to talk. Or I don't think, this is another thing, he's showing himself to you, but you're open to this, but you're also closed off at the same time, which is cool, because it's kind of scary. That's okay. It's kind of scary. It's okay. And so it's almost like his way of like saying, I'm here, but I don't want to freak you out. Okay. Like, it's like, I'm here. I don't want to freak you out. If it does happen again, you can just be a little bit more open. It's nothing bad. They'll just come and see you, say hi, and then that's it. And you'll feel so much better when you wake up. Let me tell you that. But if you have any questions, or if you need me or anything, just email me or message me on here. Okay. But you may have a dream about him tonight or tomorrow night just because of channeling. But I'm going to say a prayer for him tonight, though, too. And if you need me, let me know. Okay? Okay. I love you, girl. Be good, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. No problem. Bye, honey bun.
Bye.